Hello, GDQ. I'm doing a voiceover because I just didn't have my mic on. But hello, I am Eros. I am going to be submitting for Klonoa 2 Dream Champ Tournament, any percent on the Game Boy Advance. Now, one thing I am going to point out instantly is that I am going to be playing on emulator, so if that's an issue, let me know. Time starts on screen fade out, so right there, time started. I'm doing a voiceover, so I'm going to be explaining some stuff. So there's some cutscenes that we have to skip at the beginning. We're going to mash start. Whenever we mash start, it skips all the cutscene and everything. We can do it frame perfect. If not, it's okay. Same with these. We're going to be pressing start to skip, and instantly we're going to be moving forward. This is Klonoa 2, Klonoa the series. If you don't know anything about Klonoa, basically you pin the moves is what they're called, and you can double jump to hop, and in this version it's a puzzle platform. So what we're doing right here is just kind of doing simple movement options. Right here, what I'm going to try and do, which I fail unfortunately, is double jump off that move, pop it, instantly grab it, and do a double jump to get those fans, or get to those tornadoes, but unfortunately I cannot do it there. But it is okay if I don't get it because it's easy to save. And then we're basically going to be clearing the levels, and the way we clear the levels is by collecting those little 3 sun chips that I have at the bottom of the screen. There's 3 in every level, and there's a way to get to them every single level. So we mash start at the very end to skip all of that and everything because it's a waste of time. Mashing A would be really slow, but start just skips everything. So this is when we're going to start getting into some of the deeper mechanics, which is jump pinning is what I'm going to call it, is where you jump and mash pin to instantly grab those the moves again once they're spawning in, because you can grab them while they are still spawning. So right here, we're going to go on ahead, grab that move. I jump there because there is a certain little point where if I'm in that frame, I get boosted up by the tornado. I'm going to grab that key to open that door. There's some of that there. And then here is one of the hardest tricks in the entire run, in my personal opinion. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to jump on that block at the very edge, grab that star chip, and also make it to the platform at the same time. Very tight, very precise. Those red balloons that inflate, if we pin them, we instantly grab onto them, and we can jump and then pin onto the same one using them as platforms. And that skip that I went for right there at the very end of it, with the move where I hit the block, can save a lot of time, can lose a lot of time. Right here, I'm gonna instantly jump, go to the left, and try and get the move there so I can get first cycle here. First cycle is pretty fast here, honestly. It's really fast, really convenient, and we don't have to go up there again. We just move on forward to the right. Most of these, the screen is from left to right. Sometimes it is from right to left, depending on the positioning and stuff like that. But for the most part, you're always going to be exiting out the right. So we're just going to be going ahead, grabbing some more star chips, just doing some platforming. So the vines right there, there'll be ladders sometimes, like you see right here. Fastest way I go up them is by holding up and jump. Again, we're just going to do some basic platforming here. We're going to grab that move. We're going to wait for this platform here. We're going to go ahead and jump on it, then double jump to grab that stun chip. I call them stun chips, but they're star chips. And then we're going to double jump up and go ahead and reach the goal. So to clear the level, or to clear each and every single level, we have to make it to the goal with all 3 sun chips. Or star chips. If we don't, then we can't beat the level. So we're gonna go down to the bottom 1-1-5 here, because it is faster than the auto scroller level. Now we're gonna be doing the same trick that I did in the second level, which was jump, regrab them when they are spawning in. I unfortunately fail a bit here, but I am gonna keep attempting it because it doesn't lose a whole lot of time, because like right there I could get it instantly, right? We're going to do that same trick again right here, really close to the floor, get it there so we can just instantly skip all of coming over here, having to grab this move right here to go back and grab it. So we save a bit of time there. Right here is really tight. We're going to jump down and grab that platform so we can get first cycle. Sometimes it is really hard to get it first cycle. But sometimes it's just, but thankfully, we know how to do it. So here we're gonna go pick up this move. You're probably wondering, why do we need it? Well, because there's no way to really get up here without it. So we're gonna get the sun chip, land on the platform, and go ahead and just double jump up here. One technique that you're gonna be seeing me do a lot is do jump, and right before I land, is pin. But what I'm doing is I'm also doing my flutter at the same time, because it gives me a little bit of height and it gives me a little bit of distance. You're gonna see me do it a lot throughout the entire run because, like I said, it gives me a bit of height, and it also gives me some distance as well in it. I'm gonna try and do again what I did earlier, which was the double jump grab out of the hole, but I can't grab it. Right here is a trick, but it's really hard to perform, and it's also really precise. So I really don't go for it in runs. It could skip that entire or it could skip us from having to double jump there. But it is what it is. So we're just going to be doing a little bit more of the normal puzzle platforming here, moving through the door. Then we're gonna have to bring that move over from the last screen, which we can do sometimes, is just bring the moves over. We're gonna use the next move to break the block and grab that sun chip. This one right here, this is the first block that we see of this kind. Basically what it is if we double jump as you'll see right here, use the move to double jump and I throw it down. Basically what it does is if it goes in there, it grows a vine, and at the very top they'll spawn up as a flower. So we'll be seeing this a lot later on. Now, you know, we find a way around some of them later on, and we'll see that later on. Now, this is where the route can diverge sometimes, because sometimes the top route is a little bit easier, but then the bottom route is a little bit faster as well. I tend to go bottom route just because it's just what I'm comfortable with, and besides an auto scroller, so for a while it just keeps me moving, it keeps me warmed up and stuff. So we're just going to use the moves to break the blocks here. And then we're going to go ahead and go into this room, which is a little more complicated. That one, if I were to do that jump pin, there's a chance that I can land on the platform and get it first cycle. Typically, we have to wait double cycle. So right here, I'm doing it the intended way, but there is a fast strat, which I unfortunately do not know how to do as well. But basically on that little like doorway, the first one, we put the block there and we use it to double jump, or we put it like right there. You'll see later on how we manipulate it. What we do is we'll use it to jump up and grab the key instead of having to do the whole loop-de-loop, right? Right there, we just kind of use the vine again to just climb up and get to the next part of the level. We use the tornadoes there to get to the move. Now, we'll see two of these. What I like to do, I don't know if it's faster, if it's any slower, but what I like to do is while that vine is growing, I like to go back and push the other one in it, back over, so we can go ahead and just save a little bit of time. Again, don't know if it's faster or slower, but then we have to go up again the vine and vision cleared. Now, each world, we do about, if I'm seeing, 6 levels, and then we do the final boss fight. Each stage has a boss fight, so this is the final qualifier. For the most part, it's versus someone, but this one we're just running towards the end. Right there, I got a frame perfect skip because no audio was playing. This boss is so big that you can see it warping from the top to the bottom, right? So right here, all we're going to basically be doing is just doing some platforming, get to the end as fast as we can. Sometimes there'll be some platforms or like some stuff in the way. What I like to do is just sometimes like I'll shoot him back because the screen shakes a lot, causes some lag sometimes, but honestly sometimes it doesn't. Right there, or right here, I try to go for something where if I space it correctly, I break those 2 blocks and I can just grab this next move, but I didn't get there, unfortunately. We're going to use this next move to break the block, and we are just going to go ahead and jump these vines, go to the very end. Each level or each boss fight has 3 big sections, and at the end of each section there is a sun chip or a star chip that we can grab. That one, unfortunately, so you're probably wondering why I didn't grab it, why I didn't grab the move in that screen, but I grabbed it in the last screen, was because in that screen right there, if you fall down with a move, it actually doesn't carry over. I'm not sure what the quirk of that is or why it doesn't work, but it's just something that we just have to abandon. Again, we don't know why it allows us in the second room, but not in the last room. So we got the final sun chip or star chip, whatever, and we clear the level. On to 2-1. 2-1 is kind of like the Steam, or the second world. We're in the Western Jungle. Now we're going to go into the Northern Express. This level introduces a new mechanic, which is fans. Basically, what fans do, which you'll see right here in a second, is they'll push me up, and I can't move while I'm being pushed up. Typically, what I like to do is I like to jump into the fan. So because the thing is, they'll push me up as I'm trying to rise up. So we're just gonna have to grab this move just so we can pop it because it's in the way. And basically, and then we're gonna grab this move here, pop the block, and go ahead and grab that star chip. Onto the next screen, where we have to get this move. If we don't, we can't make it over, and we have to go back and etc. This is the first cool, and we also see these doors. Now here's the first part of cool tech that you'll see. Basically, if the moves are in our distance, we can just go ahead and grab them through the gate, because since we're underneath it, the moves squish to our height to adjust some, so they're squishy. This strat is really cool. I go ahead and grab the move, break the block, and I do that and have to come back. Now typically sometimes what in the normal casual playthrough, what people would do is they would just ignore that move, go around, push this block, use this to use this flower to get the move up there, grab it, pop the block, and then have to do the whole thing again, or just go in an entire circle again. But we time it perfectly to break the block. Sometimes if I do mess up, I do just have to end up doing that, and it's fine. Loses a bit of time, but it is what it is. And we also get introduced into those propellers, those propeller moves where if we grab them, they lift us up. We really don't run into them a lot, but they are around the level, or around the game. So this one is another, again, where they introduce fans to us. This is also where the next really cool trick comes up. I will attempt it in a run. I couldn't get it in this run, unfortunately, just because of how precise it is. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to push, actually not push, we're going to grab this block right here. We're going to put it on the edge right there. I line myself up just to make sure that's at the very edge of the screen. We'll hopefully see it in another level, but what I'll do is I will drop down, jump up, and grab it. I did get it there, but unfortunately I hit the roof, so I go for it one more time, and I don't believe I get it here, but I will give it a few attempts, and if I don't get it, I just end up doing the stage normally. Just because, like I said, sometimes doing the trick itself saves a lot of time. I believe it saves maybe close to like 10-15 seconds maybe, because having to do all of this pushing and everything like that and waiting wastes a lot of time. So yeah, I've only gotten it once in a run as of recording this, which is 2:22, but hopefully I want to practice it more and get it done. Now we get introduced to these moves where they shock us up and we can break through blocks. We just have to double jump. We can't throw them down, but we just have to do that. And we also get introduced into these conveyors where basically the lever will dictate where they go. Also, we're going to do a little bit of that. Basically, what we did there is, I missed it, so I have some time to explain. What we did there was we used the portal that it was spawning through to time it perfectly to it landing, and us being able to pull it with us and use it to double jump instead of having to wait for it to fully spawn in all the time, because we get enough speed with the conveyor belt going the other way. On to the third level here. So this one kind of introduces one new move I believe we haven't seen. It's the spikes. These spikes will actually break any move that we have carrying with us. So throughout the entire level, we kind of have to maneuver, making sure we don't hit those spikes while going up and stuff like that. They deal 1 point of health to you, and the health is those those pink hearts in the bottom left hand side. So we do a little bit of jumping there, the jump pop that I was talking about. I go ahead, I wanted to do something cheeky there, but it didn't work, unfortunately, so we just have to do it the normal way. Also, one thing I didn't talk about blocks was that the blocks will actually stop the wind as well, because it's heavy. It's too heavy, heavier than us, so we use it to stop the wind. And then we also get introduced into these as well, where we have these 3 little buttons sometimes that we have to press to open doors in like a timer. So we use the move to get them and pop it, get the star chip, and use the clear. Now for the second world in a row, we're going to do the bottom path. The bottom path is faster than the top path, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Again, this one we have to break some blocks to get down. You only have to do it twice, so you don't have to do it 3 times. What I like to do here is I like to go 1, 2, 3, falling down. The intended route is to go from the very bottom of the fan, have it push you up all the way, and do 1, 2, 3 all at once. But falling down is a little bit easier. So right here, what we have to do is we have to put the block right at the edge so the wind doesn't push up right here where we need to be. We grab this key, we go back, grab the move, get through this gated door, and then we push up. Now, for this one, that block that was up there, what we're going to do is we're going to grab the moo, we're going to shoot the moo, we're going to come back, grab the moo, go ahead and go back and get it. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to jump and flutter. I don't think I've really explained flutter, but fluttering, basically the way it works is that as long as I hold the A button, I flutter in the air. There's no reason for me to grab that, it's just habit. This is when we'll start seeing some really cool stuff. So if I throw it right before I land, in a second, I can spawn myself right there. Unfortunately, I can't grab it, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be tricking the game into thinking that it's right there when it's not supposed to, and we're just going to grab it right on through. I spam there just to make sure that I land it, and then we move the block out the way. Go ahead, jump up, and go ahead and make it to the door. The intended way, I forget what it is, but again, what we do in this in these puzzles is we try and find a way to cheese it and force our way through it, right? So on to the next stage here, because all the puzzles can be fixed and can be solved in any way, shape, or form. So this one we have to grab that red pin, or else we will fly too high and we won't be able to actually make it to this next screen. Kind of same deal again. First starship is there. What I do is I like to fall down with this double jump, so I don't have to worry about throwing it. Now throwing it might be faster, but I don't remember. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and grab this move, climb up the vine, and then hitbox are funny in this game. We can slide through this crack and not get hit. I try and set it up a bit, and we're gonna throw the block right there because it saves us some time from having to wait for that move that's bouncing up and down to come to us. So we can just use it instantly. This one is a lot of going in a circle, so we're going to go up the fan, we're going to go back, grab this move, double jump, grab the starship, and come back here and grab that other move that's jumping around for us to get to this ladder. This part, we're going to go ahead and climb up the ladder, throw the block, we're going to double jump up, grab the red flying balloon, jump up, grab the starship, and clear the level. Now again, we're not going to take the top path because it is an auto scroller, and doing the bottom path is actually faster than doing the auto scroller for the first 2 worlds, and then in the next 3 worlds we end up doing the auto scrollers. This one right here is a little bit tricky. It's the first kind of stage that really pushes you to think, and also kind of pushes the puzzle solving aspect. For the most part, most of the bottom levels are puzzle levels that you have to kind of really think on how to solve it, but of course we know the route. Not only do we know the puzzles, but we know like faster strategies and stuff like that, so it works out, right? Right there we just kind of skip some stuff. So this trick right here is really tight to do. I'll explain it right now when we do it. First, we're going to throw the block through the gap, which is kind of difficult to do sometimes. Do that. The next what we're going to do is we're going to do jump, and we're going to try and pin and grab it so we can bring it right here instead of having to wait. If we have to wait, it's fine. I don't want to keep going for it because sometimes it could lose you close to like maybe 2, like it can, like if you try and doing over and over again, just because how precise it is, it can waste a lot of time. So I would typically maybe try and do it once and both times, because we have to do it twice. We're just going to push the button, we're just going to take the damage and push forward. We're going to go ahead and do some climbing, grab double jump, red balloon, use the fan, try and flutter to get to that green platform, and flutter again to grab this. Now this one is really precise. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go up, grab this flying move, we're going to want to jump up again, up to the fan, wait right here for these spikes to go all the way up. When they're all the way up, we have to go down and grab it. If we mess up the timing and everything, it breaks the balloon, and we're gonna have to go, or breaks the moon, and we have to go all the way around, and that's the clear stage. Now on to the first official 1v1 against Joka. Joka is an interesting fight, I guess I would say, because there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with the boss fight. Frame perfect skip right there. What we're going to do is we're going to wait for this move to come down here, and we're going to do what we've been doing: jump, pin, and then double jump again. We don't get it there, we don't get it there again, but we get it the second time. We just have to time it perfectly, and we skip a huge portion at the bottom. Saves a lot of time. Right here, we're just going to break that, go ahead and do this, and go ahead and pick that up. Now, the intended way to beat this boss is to basically break those crates that he spawns and hit his head once. We still hit his head once, but we don't really break is the crates underneath. We take the damage because they give a lot of hearts, because this is the first boss fight of the game, or like the second one where it's officially a 1v1, and we basically manipulate it. So we just take the damage and hit his head. Right here, we're going to want to do a double jump to stay above and grab that move so we can break it, saving some time. Right here, we're going to try and do the speed one again, or the kind of double pin again. Unfortunately, it doesn't work, so we just go ahead and just do it normally. I've done it maybe once. I've never seen the world record holder, who was dogging the grass, get it done in the world record. I don't know if they did attempt for it. It's been a minute since I've seen it. Also, right here, you're probably thinking, oh, they're too high. The boss is too high to be able to actually hit them with it still. But we just kind of take damage, and again, just kind of hit them. We do have to grab that move to be able to do that double jump. Now here is the really tight part. It's really difficult. So what I'm gonna do is grab that, try and jump it. If I don't make it, that's fine. We're gonna go back and we're gonna play it really safe here, just because if I die, I lose a lot of time. We're gonna go ahead and do that right there in front of it, and then pin it as we go up, saving some time. I go back and collect this heart just because I want to play it safe, because here is when we're actually going to have to break the crates. Who would have thought we actually had to play the game? But dying in any of these boss fights loses a lot of time, because if you die, you go from the very beginning no matter what room you're in. We'll see it happen later on in the run. Unfortunately, I don't plan to die, but if I die, it happens. So all we're gonna do is break 2 of the barrels, and then once we break the 2 barrels, it's enough height for us to just hit the head once, have him fall all the way down, grab the final key to that door to get that last star chip, and clear the Southern Express, or Northern Express, excuse me. Now we're gonna go on to the Eastern Desert. Excuse me, I have my cardinal directions wrong. So, in this world, we are introduced to a brand new move, an explosive move. This explosive move, basically what it does is it has a timer over its head. That timer basically gives us how much time we have till it explodes, right? And you'll see those blocks right there that are cylinder blocks. We can't make it through unless we use those explosive moves to break it through. So right there, we just take the damage to kind of get through it. Right here, I've kind of just started doing this. It doesn't save time. It's around the same time roughly, but I throw it through a gap, and then I try and make sure that I space myself correctly to where that won't hit me, but it'll hit both blocks. So thankfully we got that. Makes it a little bit faster than having to basically wait to break both of them. And then this level also introduces us, also shows us something really cool. If we throw something at it, at the explosive move, they instantly blow up. No matter how much time is left, the moment they're popped, they blow up. And those boxes with the arrows, those are going to be really crucial in completing a lot of these puzzles, because what it allows it to do is when they explode, they have the little block right there and everything, right? And they only go the one direction. But with the arrows, what it actually allows us to do is basically send those explosions in any direction that the block is going. Right there we barely make it because we have to right there we barely make it, but it's all good. But that explosion needs to go up to hit the button to clear the gate. I missed a jump there, but what I would do here is I would have grabbed that, grabbed the first this block right here, would have placed it right there, grabbed the other block and place it down there. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to do a quick little double jump up, grab that, and basically throw the explosion down to hit that explosive move and break the block that's in the way of us getting our last star chip. And that is the first level of the Eastern Desert. So the explosive moves are going to do a lot in this game, or a lot in this world. So we'll explain that later. So now we're getting introduced into a new mechanic, which is these buttons, where every time we press them, they basically expand these blocks. So right there, we can already see us abusing how they work. We're going to go ahead and throw it, and as long as we're in it still and walking through, the block just basically allows us to walk through and not have to wait the entire time. Typically, you'd have to wait there a while. So. And next up, we're just going to go ahead and throw the block towards it. Right here, we have to wait. You're probably wondering why I'm instantly not hitting it. It's because the button becomes inactive for a second, and we can't instantly press it. So another thing that the explosive move has right there, it landed on that little pressure plate. With the pressure, what the explosive move actually does is that if it's on a set pressure plate, it'll detect as me like standing there, and it'll open up gates and stuff like that. So right here, what we're doing is we're waiting for the moves we hold the gates open and we wait for the moves to come to us. When they come to us, what we're going to do is we're going to basically grab them the first chance we get. We're going to double jump and go on to the next level. There are 3 levels of this. We're going to wait for the explosive move to get here. We're going to grab that explosive move, grab the last chip. I'm going to go ahead, throw it down, throw it up against that wall, grab this one, walk in here, and right there is the final, is the door. Whew. These levels are fast, and some of them are a lot longer than others, but some of them are pretty fast. So on to this next stage where we get introduced into this next move. They introduce a lot of moves in this world. So basically what this move is, as long as I chuck it at an actual active move, it will turn a color, and depending on what color it is, it allows me to break these gems. I can't break them with anything else, no explosions, no anything. So right here we try and do a pretty cool strat here where we do that, where we throw it. So what the strategy is supposed to be there is I grab that bomb pin and you know, we still basically did the same thing. It works, but I just have to grab all 3 moves, and that spike one kind of messes up with it. Anyways, I introduced this strat into the run. A lot of people weren't doing it. Basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that damage, set the move up there, and basically we just save a lot of time from having to do this whole big cycle. I don't really remember how it's originally supposed to be done, but I remember bringing it up in the community saying, hey, is there a reason nobody's been really doing this? And I explained that it's faster. What I found is faster, and we've started doing it. Right there is really funny is we instantly grab the Moo as we're falling off, and we double jump instantly. So we basically kind of push our way up. This one, what we're doing is we have to climb all the way up, make sure that we don't really get hit, or the Moo that we're carrying gets exploded. We have to grab all 3 Moos and basically use it to get the final star chip. Now we're just gonna fall down, fall on top of the door, and that's the level. Sometimes we'll fall and we'll land on that platform that's going up and down. It's okay. It doesn't really cause us a lot of turmoil and stuff like that. Now right here, we're going to be doing an auto scroller where hitboxes don't work at all in this game. It feels like I accidentally paused there. Basically what we're going to do is we are going to hold to the right for a while, and we're going to do nothing. It looks like these should be hitting us, but they don't. They just barely nick us. By nick, I mean, you know, just N-I-C-K, right? But basically this would be a perfect time to start say some donations. All I'm going to be doing is just going from the start to the end. If at any point I die, it loses a lot of time in the run. It could lose up to like a minute or 2 sometimes, depending on where you die exactly. I have to move away from the wall there, but this would be a perfect time for donations and stuff like that, because it's pretty self-explanatory. Just get from one end to the other. We can sometimes spin around on the board. But like I said, this is going to be a perfect time for donations. I can maybe explain some stuff in between this, but this is going to be a perfect time for donation for sure. And while this is going on, first of all, there is a incentive that I would like to push as well, that I have at the very end of this, which I will probably submit another video for, which is all the extra levels. There are extra levels if you 100% the game. And then when you 100% it, there's the extra levels that you have to do that are the hardest levels in the game, but I'll explain that in later on. So on to the next level. This one introduces this level introduces these little arrows where basically if I throw a Moo at them, it won't instantly explode, but it will send it the direction that we want it to. The orange point arrows we can't control, but the blue ones we can by just pinning it. So right here is when we're going to do a really cool trick. I grabbed the block here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to send that up because we have to grab this key. Typically what we have to do is we have to point those two to hit the block, but what we can do is if we time it correctly, we basically make it so it avoids the arrow at the very tippy top. And we break that block and we just come down here, grab the block again because we are going to need it. I'm going to double jump, pin, send the block up to hold that down, and we're to hold that switch down. On to the next screen. This one we're going to just do more arrow manipulating, where we're going to grab the box, send it over to where that purple block is that we can't, that won't let it through. We're going to push the switch though to let it go through. And I'm going to go ahead and grab it, throw it down here because we need it. I grab it and I'm not supposed to. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do double jump, grab this star chip, and we're gonna do a double jump again, and we're gonna go up, jump, and on to the next one. This is my favorite stage. We're supposed to make it so these arrows point the certain direction, but all we're gonna do is just run into them and break it because we just need this middle one unlocked. Now this next puzzle, or this next part, is very, very frustrating for me. It's one of the hardest parts I had when I first casually played this. Basically what we have to do, we have to time our shots perfectly to hit every single one of these moves that are going up and down, and it keeps it active when it's bouncing up and down. That's one thing I forgot to mention, is that when they're bouncing up and down through arrows, it keeps the move active no matter what. So I throw it there to grab this red one, and yeah, sometimes that can go horribly and you could lose a lot of time there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to double jump onto it, try and grab it and go up here, so like do this, save some time. I believe it saves maybe like 5-ish seconds, maybe like 2-3 seconds, and if we don't get it, that's fine. There's this thing on the other side that we can climb up the vine to grab. Now we're going to take the top route again because it's faster now than the bottom route, because the bottom route is a lot more harder. This is another auto scroller level, again another place for donations. So yeah, not really much to talk about during these, just other than just platforming. And these auto scrollers have 2 screens, and basically one big first section and then one big second section. They're just auto scrollers. So like I said, perfect place for donation reading here. But I do want to talk about the incentive that I was mentioned earlier. Basically, this incentive would be the extra levels of the game. Basically, the way these extra levels work of the game is, like I said, once you beat every level and collect everything in said level, or you beat all the levels, but while beating them, you also collect everything that's in the said level, you unlock this stage called the EX stage. There are 5 of them, 1 for each world and 1 in each world. Basically, they're like the hardest stages of the game by far. 3 of them are meant to be like speed ran, in the sense that there's a active timer going on, while the other ones are more of just like puzzles, if that makes sense, or kind of testing your knowledge of the game. I think it'd be really fun incentive to go for. It shows how technical this game could get on a deeper level, but yeah, I'll talk about that when I get to that part. So we beat the auto scroller. Now this is the first stage where this is the only part of RNG in the entire run versus Gomerov. It is never consistent per route. Basically what we have to do is, it's a treasure hunt where there are certain blocks that we have to break, and I'm supposed to know where all the where all the keys are, but I actually don't. So I should probably learn that for GDQ, or SGDQ, excuse me, but you know, it happens. Sometimes I just kind of forget. But yeah, like I said, this is random. They're not consistent. Every single time they're randomized into certain locations, and we just have to go to where they're at and basically break the blocks. Like I said, so we find the first kind of key to the door that we have to get. Like I said, each time they're different. And as you can see right here, I'm on 1 health, and so I'm playing it extremely safe, because if I don't play it extremely safe, I could die and lose a lot, and I mean a lot of time here. So now we just kind of have to wait for her to pass by, unfortunately, because that spike is right there. We have to wait till she gets right here. We grab her, double jump up. I'm gonna grab that heart for safety and move on, clear the door. Again, more RNG. There's really nothing we can do about this. There's like no manipulation or anything like that. Like, I don't have to start on a specific frame on, like, when the game starts up or anything like that. It is just 100% random. This explosive move right here has an 8-second counter, so it's a lot faster than usual, but thankfully we get it here. Like I said, it is random whenever we do get it, whenever we see which one it is. So okay, so we won't know where it is. So I use that just, I don't really have to, but I just do it sometimes just in case the key is right there, so it's just practice for me. This final room has 3 paths, middle, top, and bottom. The key can be in any of those paths. So right here, I can already tell it's not in the top path because there's nothing there. So then I go backtrack and I go and see all the other paths, see where the blocks are. That one, not there. I move forward into the next room. I see that there's this block here, so I go ahead and grab it. And it's not there, so there's only one other location where it can be. Like I said, this can get very you could save a lot of time and you can lose a lot of time here, because like I said, it is 100% complete RNG. It's never set. Like I said, there's no real frame that we start the game to be able to get it to be the same seed, but we do need to get those keys to pass to those gates, and when we get those gates, we get the star chips, and then we just basically clear the level. So that's, in my opinion, the hardest boss fight in the game, but we're done with Eastern Desert. Second hardest boss fight. This really slowest one, but now we're going to Southern Resort here to the semifinals. Thankfully, we only have to do this once. We have to play underwater. Now, Klonoa in lore cannot swim. So instead of disqualifying him, what the tournament does is they give him this underwater suit to be able to swim around. However, it makes the game run, or it makes moving really slow with Klonoa. Now, like I said, we only have to do one level, and it is the first level of this. We do the auto scroller, so it's 4-4 that we do, and then the second stage, which is between the auto scroller and the puzzle level, we actually do 4-7 because it is faster, surprisingly. This would be a kind of good time for donations, because all I'm really doing is just kind of clearing the level. There's really nothing, there's no like fast movement or exciting stuff about this level, other than what I'm also trying to do is I'm trying to make sure that I jump to basically, I jump so I have enough height so where I'm not floating over the ledge. I jump to make sure that I have the exact height to just land on the corner and cancel a lot of like my floating animation. So like I said, this is going to be a perfect time for donations because, again, nothing's really happening. We're just kind of clearing the level now. Nothing really, there's like really no cool fast tech, and like I said, is jumping to make sure that I stop my floating animation like right there at the ledge, like I do right there. There's this fan, I just jump up to kind of make sure that I don't have to start the animation of me flying all the way up. Like I said, we only do this once throughout the entire run. We don't do it any other time. So thankfully we don't have to do this again. But yeah, like I said, this would be a perfect time for donations. I would have wanted to hold on to the Moo there, but sometimes it happens. So now we just have to wait a little bit more. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, this section is very, very slow. So perfect time for donations and stuff like that. So the estimate for this run, I guess we'll talk about it while this auto scroller section is happening. The estimate for this run would probably be about an hour 20 minutes marathon safety, just because my personal best is 1:14 and the world record is 1:04 if I'm not mistaken, roughly. I know my personal best is, it says it's 1:18 right there. It's because I haven't run this game in a minute, but I am learning it again and I'm getting into the groove of playing it again more. I'm getting better times because I am possibly participating in another marathon, raising money for community, which is LGBTQ communities, and me myself being non-binary, I 100% support that as well. So like I said, the estimate would be 120 marathon safety. Granted, I can maybe try and get it down to like maybe a 115, possibly. It really does come down to how confident, how much I practice this run more and how confident I become in the time. So like I said, estimate would probably be 120, like marathon safety, but like if I'm playing perfect, it's 100% probably going to be like a close to like a 115-ish maybe. So yeah. We're almost finishing up this level, and like I said, this level has no really fancy speed tech. It's relatively really slow, so like I said, perfect place, perfect time for donations. Another thing as well is that I would be doing this remotely from my home, just because that's how I feel comfortable, and I have everything here, and I do this remotely. So on to the next level. Again, we're never touching that suit again. Super slow. We're instantly going to have to use this propeller to get up because there's no other way getting up. So we get up. Now we have to avoid this water. Like I said, Klonoa cannot handle water, can't swim, so if we can walk on water, but it will deal damage to us. So these switches will knock the water down. Right here, we're going to do another one of those pin jumps that I talked about, where it's double jump pin to grab it again, and I'm going to do it one more time. So then, because what I do is I double jump here, wait for this move to, we grab the key, we wait for and we unlock it to use the door. Then I have to wait for this move. Now I'm pretty sure I can make this jump, but I wait just for safety, and I just do a double jump. So we take damage from walking on water. However, there will be waterfalls that we'll see later on that will that won't hurt us, but will knock us back. And basically what we're gonna have to use is we're gonna have to use a moo as like an umbrella. So we'll see that later on in the world. So right here, excuse me. Right here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna knock down the water. We're gonna grab that block. When we grab the block, we're going to go ahead and jump up and use that. Now, there's a very precise strat where we're gonna fall down and flutter instantly to try and grab it. It works about 50% of the time, honestly. It's still worth it to go because we save some time, and if we don't make it, it's fine. We lose some time, but it's all okay. So, yeah. Excuse me earlier. My throat's very dry right now. So time start, we're going to go to 4-3 now. And we're just going to go ahead. This is when kind of more water stuff is introduced. Or, of course, like I said, the water is kind of a crucial part of the game. Of this world, at least. So, we get introduced to the moo that absorbs more moves again. We're going to take some damage there. Not intentional. I believe I maybe misplaced the rock. But basically, or the block. Basically, what we're doing is we're using that to get higher and higher to be able to grab that little part. And we have to wait there because if I were to just use that to double jump, I unfortunately won't make it. So like I said earlier, we're going to use moves as umbrellas, then introduce that mechanic there. Very nice. So you see that red crystal and you're probably thinking, oh crap, I'm going to have to grab that red crystal. No, I just have to make this turn blue and we're all good. So I'm going to wait here, double jump up, use it as an umbrella, go ahead and hit that and grab that part. And also, as you saw there, I kind of got pushed back a little bit from the water. I said I won't take damage, but I will get pushed back. So I do this wrong, but what we're supposed to be doing is we're supposed to go to the left, or to the right, excuse me, jump up the fan, grab the moo, double jump, break the block. We're supposed to grab the moo, I mess up again. Use it as an umbrella, jump down, break that block, we wait for this moo to come over, we grab the moo, use it as an umbrella, we go over, double jump to grab that, we run over, go and grab the moo, but unfortunately I was just barely off, so I don't have, so I don't end up grabbing it. And now we grab that, we slide down, but I forget I'm supposed to grab the moo, so I have to wait again. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to grab this moo. Once we grab the moo, go down, use it as an umbrella, throw it, and now we have to pin it so we can go through this gate, because we can't go, or make sure the water level goes down so we can make it through that doorway and go over here. Now what we're going to do here is pretty interesting. We're going to have to use this block because, as you can see, it keeps falling into the spikes. What we're going to do is we're going to use the block. I'm going to position myself so it doesn't grow, because we don't want it to grow, because what we want it to do is to walk over that little kind of lever that was down there. It's going to walk over it, and we're just going to take the damage boost to grab the star chip and go ahead and double jump up to this gate. So that was 4-3. On to another auto scroller. Each world has 2 auto scrollers, but like I said, in this world we actually don't do the second one. We do just the first one, and then we do the second puzzle, or we do 4-8. But yeah, again, another section for auto scroller. I don't really know how to fill in this time while recording this voiceover, but yeah, maybe I'll talk a little bit about myself during this. My name is Eros. My pronouns are they, them. They, them, he, him. Those are my pronouns. I've been watching SGDQ and GDQs for forever. The first GDQ run I've ever watched was I think a GDQ from 2013 GDQ. It was Kaizo Mario 1, and it was so interesting to see a game that difficult be beaten, and I got into speedrunning instantly, and I've loved GDQ. It's an amazing cause. I have family members who have had cancer, who have passed away from cancer, unfortunately, and my grandmother who has fought off breast cancer. So preventing cancer is such a big thing to me, because thankfully some family members are still alive because the cancer was able to be found earlier. And like I said, I have lost some family members to cancer, unfortunately, but I mean, it sucks that cancer is a thing, but you know, thankfully with GDQ, we're raising money, or you guys are raising money to help prevent it. So yeah, and so I love GDQs, and I love the cause that you guys do. So after that auto scroller, we're gonna move on to 4-6. Whew. And I'm starting to lose my voice while doing this. Well, not lose it, but you know, this level right here is gonna do a lot of. I like to call this the backtrack level, because what we have to do is we have to backtrack a lot. I forget what the strat that I'm supposed to do there. It's been so long since I've looked at what I have to do. Basically, we're gonna break that. We're gonna press the button with the Moo, get that sun chip. We're gonna walk all the way back, and I'm just gonna use the Moo again. I don't really need it, but I just brought it with me. We're gonna throw the Moo to the wall towards us, so we can make this double jump and make it there. So we're gonna do we're just gonna kind of wait. Throw it towards the waterfall, wait for it to bounce back, grab it as it bounces back. Do kind of the same thing right here with this one, because we can't make it through. So we're going to throw it, grab it, throw it, and then re-grab it, and then double jump up. Now this is when we start manipulating the block physics. The block is super interesting. It's actually one of my favorite things in this game. So what we're going to do is we're going to force the game to think, like we said earlier, actually the second time that we're box manipulating, excuse me. We're going to make the game think is that we are... that the block is somewhere that's not supposed to, because what we're doing is we're pinning it and instantly double jumping, because the animation for the double jump goes off, and it makes it, and the game thinks that, oh okay, well you put it here legitimately, and it doesn't do that error noise. So yeah, so right here what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up, grab this Moo. We're going to use it to double jump off of that little blue crystal I barely missed, but we're going to use the blue crystal to lower the water, because we need to pass over and grab and use it as an umbrella. We're going to have to grab this Moo because it's the only way that we can make it through. We're going to double jump up, grab this, we're going to float over, we're going to pin so the water level can go down, and we're going to go across now, and we're able to do this section safely. What we're going to do is we're going to use this booster Moo, jump up, boost all the way up, wait for it to come over, grab it, fall down, double jump up to grab this sun chip, and we're going to go over as fast as we can to try and get it again before it spawns, but I cannot, unfortunately, so we're just going to double jump again. And we're just going to do the double jump once more. As we get all the way, we're going to fall on top of the door, and that is 4-6. Now, like I said earlier, this is the one world where we don't do the, one of the later worlds where we don't do the auto scroller. We actually take the bottom route. Bottom route is a lot faster, because the top route is another underwater suit section, so it sucks. So what we're gonna do is, in this first section, that gem Moo that we have seen a lot, which is right there, we have to make it so it reaches that red level. So that means we need to hit 3 Moos of it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use that Moo to go underwater like an umbrella. We're gonna wait right here, wait for it to spawn, wait a second, jump up, grab that, fall down, grab that one, and now it's at the red level, and then we're gonna throw the Moo to the arrow and clear the red gem. Now we're gonna go ahead and just kind of use the Moo again to just double jump, and it's cleared right there. Now this section is, this part is very tight. I rarely get it, and I'm so glad I got it here so I can show it off. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna make one round trip with this Moo right here. So we're gonna use it to push down that lever, we're gonna use it to double jump, grab it again instantly, go up, and then before time ends, we're gonna use it to double jump. to clear that. Now, what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to do that twice, or we're supposed to go around 2 times normally to be able to clear it, but thankfully we're fast enough to basically just do it in one go sometimes. So right here, another part of having to do it red, or get the gem moo red. Unfortunately, that spawned right as I was going to just do it normally, but we're just gonna do some basic platforming in Klonoa. We're gonna do that fast enough as well because we need that block over there. As we're throwing it, we're gonna go ahead and grab that, throw it across, and make it to this next section. His conveyors are going the opposite way, preventing this block right here from covering the wind, and we need the block to cover up that wind. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to make 2 trips here. We're going to throw the moo right there to break that block. We're going to make another trip, grab the moo, so then we can go ahead and double jump right here, hitting that lever, pushing that block down, and when we push that block down, we go ahead and come back, grab this moo because we need it as an umbrella, double jump to grab the second sun chip, and then go ahead and clear it there, and go ahead and just grab that next flying moo and go here. So again, we're going to use this moo as an umbrella, and we're going to set these up so the arrow is pointing that direction, so the bomb can go all the way over here. And while we're waiting for that, and instead of having to wait those final 7 seconds, I just go ahead and grab that moo, throw it to instantly pop it, take damage, and we go down. Now we have to stand on that kind of lever there so the moo can pass through and be able to explode it. There's no other way to do it there. We really can't cheese it, so that's all good. So on to Suryu. So unfortunately in this run I died to the boss. Typically you shouldn't really die here. The final boss, I just got unlucky with the boss patterns, but it is what it is. So in this first room, what we're going to do is we're going to wait for it to get to this little bridge section right here. We're going to jump, throw, have it expose the stomach, jump, throw, and hit the core. So that is the only way that we can deal damage and also progress into the level. We have to wait for it, we have to hit it once so the core can be exposed. And once that core is exposed, we can throw another moo at that little circle that comes out to deal damage. And then it basically will drop off the key right at the exit. Basically from that exit we just go ahead and move on to the next section of the boss fight. So you see the keys right there, we do a little platform and grab that, and there's the star chip. Right here we're gonna kind of do the same thing. We're gonna wait right here for the boss. We're gonna throw that so it doesn't get in the way. We're gonna wait for the boss to show up right there. We throw that, we go ahead and grab the other move, and we just go straight to the left because thankfully this one doesn't have it where we have to climb up and down and stuff like that. Now this final boss room is confined to this little section right here. This is where I actually die, unfortunately. In this section you have to hit the boss 3 times. Like I said, unfortunately I die here. I try to manipulate it, the boss to be where I wanted it to, but unfortunately it just didn't work out how I was expecting it to. He just wasn't really cooperating, but it's all okay. Deaths happen, unfortunately. I was pretty upset when I died to this boss fight, but it is what it is, honestly, at the end of the day. As you can see, I try and do some damage, and right now I don't have any hearts that I can pick up to heal myself other than that one right there, but unfortunately the boss is right there in the way, so I have to wait. And I believe, unfortunately, he goes back into his balloon form, and I can't get up in time, unfortunately. And the boss pops it right as I'm about to double jump to clear the one underneath me, and I die. Thankfully, if I match star, I just go back here. So it's from the very beginning. Like I said, losing at a boss fight is very crucial. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how it didn't take the damage, but I'm improvising right now because I have no clue where he's supposed to be. I'm losing time here, unfortunately. Again, this was very unfortunate what happened here, and I just kind of had to improvise on the spot. I really don't know how to do this. Where he spawns or where he goes normally. I don't think I get it here, or I barely get it. I think he was about to close in right there. But basically, if I another thing as well about this boss is if you don't hit the boss soon enough, the boss will close its rib cage kind of, and it won't let you hit it, and it'll shoot a projectile at you, and you have to wait to shoot that projectile to open up the chest again, right? Excuse me. So moving on, we're just doing the same boss fight again. So if I were to ever die at any point in the run during a boss fight, basically it would just be kind of donations, just because we've already seen this part until we get to this part. Or I might ask for serious time. Just because I'd want to focus and make sure that I don't die again. I just want to get to this room, or like right back to where I died, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and try and manipulate him once more. Unfortunately, he doesn't kind of cooperate with me there, but we go ahead and improvise once more. Well, not improvise, but we just kind of react. I guess reaction and improvising are the same thing. But yeah. Now wait for him to come down here. He will blow up again. That's all nice and dandy. He moves 3 times. So I go ahead and try and move over here to catch him. I'm down to 1 health again. Thankfully, I can go ahead and grab that heart. If I remember to grab it. I jump down, grab this move, shoot him, and we got the kill. Again, if you see the splits there, I was practically 2 minutes ahead of my PB, but dying once, I lost 2 minutes from that. So dying in a boss fight can probably lose you a lot of time, depending on where you died. So on 251, we're to Garland's Castle. We're at the final section. We're in the finals. We're fighting Gantz, who is our rival in this game. So Vision 5-1, we're gonna do some cool manipulation here. Manipulation in the sense that we're gonna jump and grab a move, and we're barely gonna grab, and we're barely gonna be able to jump over here. What we have to do sometimes is throw that block to be able to get something over here, etc., etc. So we cut out a decent amount of time. Right here, we're going to go ahead and grab this explosive move, jump over here. Over there, there's just some gems that are pointless. Or not pointless, but you know. We go ahead and do that. We jump again to grab this key, because we do need to grab the key for the next part. And we just go ahead, 1, 2, 3. Hit them all 3. Hit all 3 switches, jump up, grab this. And then we have to grab this move before we leave, because if we don't grab it, we cannot get out. So now we wait for the platform. And then we double jump here. And now on to this next really cool part that I like. So right here, what we're going to do is we're going to, again, trick the game with block manipulation. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to throw the block as we're falling down, double jump and grab it, walk out, grab it, and now I messed it up a lot here, but I have to throw it through that gap again. Again, I just don't know what was happening here. I just couldn't make it through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we finally make it through. We then go ahead, use it as a double jump here up to the next section. We have to climb down here, grab this move, jump up, and go on to the next section. That saves a lot of time from what you normally have to do, because you will lose a lot of time there. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and in the second world I was unable to do this, but we're gonna go ahead and try and get it here. What I have to do is I have to double jump at the right time and at the right height to be able to repin to grab the block and jump high up and jump up onto the second section. Again, pretty precise, but it saves a lot of time when we do it. So once we get it up there, we go up, we push this block down. And we also have to make sure that the block is at the edge as well, or else this won't work, unfortunately. But once it's at the edge, like that, how we have it, we're going to go ahead and grab the next move. We're going to go ahead, climb up. We're going to go jump, jump, make our staircase to grab this move, or to grab that sun chip, star chip, and clear the level. What we're supposed to do normally is grab that big block, push it all the way to the end, make a vine, and then while we wait for that vine to grow, we have to grab it again, double jump, throw it down, wait for the vine to grow again, and basically grab it, and etc, etc. Waste a lot of time again, and here I wasted time accidentally because I pressed B instead of A, but yeah, it's all good. Next up we got Vision 5-2. And these final sections, these final levels are can take very long time to do. we're gonna go ahead, it's double jump. I like to call this section momentum pushing, or I like to call this section momentum pushing, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this block and we're gonna throw it as we're falling down, and as we're falling down we're gonna go ahead and just do that. Push it down and grab that as well, so we just don't lose a lot of time. So we just have to do that to make the block to make sure it gets over there, so we can grab that star chip. We have to grab this block here, or else you know, we won't make it. So I do the little block trick to fall down with it. I bring it with me. Pretty pointless, other than we can grab that, but this is the 100% route. So right here, what we're going to do is we're going to be doing a lot of backtracking here. We're going to put the block over that little wind so we can keep grabbing this. And once that block is broken, we're going to go over here, get this block right here, throw it so that's covered up. We're going to hover over here, jump onto that, grab this moo, double jump up to this section right here. So then we go all the way around, we come back, grab this block, throw it out of the way, grab the moo now, and now we are able to double jump safely to grab this, because the wind would have pushed us up right there in that jump and we wouldn't have been able to make it. I believe there's there's a faster strat. I think again, world record holder does it. I'm not familiar with how to do it, but I definitely will learn it by the time GDQ comes, and that's why I'm saying that I could probably bring this down from an estimate of 120 to 115. But anyways, we have to come back, grab the block, throw the block once more, come over here, grab it, and grab the moo to be able to double jump up. Now this section right here, we can actually soft lock. If we get up here, we are 100% soft locked, and we have to hit the retry button. Because what we have to do is we have to climb up here, grab this right there, double jump, put it over the gap right there. Not throw it all the way down, because we still need to fly up, but we're just gonna have it over that ledge right there. Unfortunately, I double jumped there, which loses some time, but it's okay. We're not soft locked, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump all the way around. Just do it again. We're gonna do that. We're gonna double jump, grab that, or not double jump, but we're just gonna jump, go up with the fan, double jump to grab this last star chip, and then we're gonna come over here and go ahead and clear the level. Now, if I remembered, I would have remembered to that green flying moo that I grabbed earlier to bring it to break that block. But now what I have to do is I have to backtrack all the way to this part of the level, grab the block, go through the door, throw the block down so the wind isn't in the way, so then I can come over here and grab this moo and throw it so I can make it in. Again, we lose a lot of time doing that, but that's okay. Again, I just have to remember to do it correctly. So on to 5-3 once again. The final third stage. So this right here, I try and go for a really cool trick here. I don't do it right the first time, but I go ahead and try it again, and this is actually the first time I've done it. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we line ourselves up precisely, jump up, throw it over there, and make it over to the block right here. Typically what we have to do is we have to do this whole puzzle of like turning on and off buttons and stuff like that. It wastes too much time, so we just figured out that we could actually manipulate it so it barely fits to the crack, and we also run along with it. So really cool stuff. And we also see a glitch here as well later on in the level, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, I just don't remember. Now we wait. We have to wait for this for the moo that's up there to explode. Fun thing about those explosive moos is that if they're on a vine still and they still have a timer on them, they will still continue to count down. So right here we're on a timer here. We're gonna go ahead and grab that, push this block all the way over, double jump, throw it up, make sure that it's just barely there. Just make sure that's barely there to be able to open up that button, and we grab it. So we're gonna throw this block down. We're gonna throw it this way. I'm not supposed to be able to do it that way, but I somehow did it. But we're gonna use that block just so we can get over here. Next up, so this is where the glitch is. So we're gonna wait right here in the middle, because we need to make sure that this moo walks through and transports. Now, here's a really cool thing. So typically in the next room there's a whole big section that we have to do of moving and transporting and stuff like that, a lot of going back and forth, and it's really complicated. But what we do is we time our jump perfectly and the pin perfectly to where we jump, and we're in somewhere where we're not supposed to be, and we actually have to jump this entire time, because if we're not jumping the entire time, we actually can't move at all. We can't actually move left, and we can't move right, because the game thankfully for once detects that we're somewhere that we're not supposed to be. So we go ahead and just wait. So we go ahead and have to jump. So because, like I said, we have to do this whole thing of running back and forth, doing it on a tight timer and everything. But just it's easier if we just basically break the game that way. So now we're on to another auto scroller. Again, perfect time for donation reading, and stuff like that. So yeah. Don't know what to fill this section up with other than silence. Like I said, this would be a perfect section to just read donations and stuff. Any auto scroller. And yeah. I'm trying to think of what to fill this space with, but I really don't know. Yeah, I really don't know what to talk about here. Oh, I should probably talk about the category I'm doing. I'm doing any percent. Any percent is literally just clear the game as fast as you can. There are certain categories to this, which is all levels, all S's and stuff like that. I don't really run those categories. There's only one person who does, and that's the current world record holder for the any percent route. But that's just because all levels and all S rank is a really long run. All S rank requires me to collect all the gems, while also getting those little sun chips, like the actual things that look like a sun, which are right next to my hearts on the right hand side right now. There's that little empty groove right there. The thing that I'm about to fly, that right there that I passed through, I have to collect those in every level for all levels. But for S rank, I have to clear every single stage without taking damage and collecting every single item. So I don't run that, so I'd only be running any percent. So auto scroller done. On to the next level, and then we have one more, or this is the last actual level, and then we're on to the auto scroll, and then on to the final boss. So right here, these moves are flying in the air, or these explosive moves, which I don't think I've mentioned. They do float sometimes if they are given wings. So we're just gonna have to wait right here. There's nothing really more that we can do other than wait, because if we try and go over there and make it so that it explodes, we can't really do that. So we just have to wait. We have to grab that move though to be able to double jump, and once we double jump, we are good. Right here, it would be a good section for donations, because all I'm going to be doing is I have to wait 30 seconds. So another good time for donations while we're waiting for this to explode. Okay, now it's exploded. We're going to go ahead, grab this gem moo. I have to throw it down and be fast enough to be able to make it through that gate, or else I have to retry. We're going to double jump, grab that. We're going to grab that moo, basically make it explode. We're going to grab it and break that red gem. Now, here's the cool section. So typically, the casual route is we put the explosive moo on the pad and wait for the walking moo to walk towards us. However, the walking moo just lasts long enough for us to be able to just throw the moo and walk through it, so we can go through it, go through the gate and grab that star chip. For this part, what we have to do is we have to time it perfectly so the platforms are right over the wind, so we don't get pushed all the way up, because if we get pushed all the way up, we cannot make it through the parts that we have to. So this part is really cool. I restart a lot here, the stages, or the little rooms, just because I didn't mess them up a lot, unfortunately. Hopefully I practice them and I get them done a lot better. So what we're going to do is we're going to double jump here. I said I mess it up, or I recognize that I mess it up, so I have to I instantly hit that restart button, or retry button, excuse me. So I double jump. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw that, grab this, jump. I did it wrong. But what we're supposed to do is, if I get it right here, I retry again because it explodes, unfortunately. again, explodes. So again, I really retry for this because the trick saves a lot of time when we do it and a lot less waiting. So we have to go up, throw the moo, do that, and then we go back with this jumping moo into the next room. I take a tick of damage when I'm not supposed to, unfortunately. What we're gonna do is we're gonna throw it over there. We're gonna jump up, flutter over, push it over here, push this block over here, throw the moo there, and we push this all the way. And we don't have to have it cover up the windy all the way, but as long as a little section of it covers it up, throw the moo over, have it as that, have it push that lever down, so we can make it all the way up, or so we can make it right here to the little chip. I unfortunately don't realize that I'm low on health, and so I take that I have 1 HP, and so I die. Again, during the run, I shouldn't die as much as I do. This run typically is deathless, but I just messed up a few times, unfortunately. But, you know, a death is a death. Lose some time, but nothing we can come back from, right? So we're just going to do the same thing again. Push that down, climb up this vine, grab this moo, jump over here, double jump, grab the moo, go through the gate again, and now we wait for this to explode because we are going to use it again for another trick in this next room. Take damage, we do that. I unfortunately have to retry because, like I said, it's just faster to do it this way. We threw that, pin it, we throw it down, and we wait, and we basically barely get there in time to grab the sun chip because we need a double jump there. Like I said, I know there's an explosive move over there, but it's just slow to do that. So that's 5-6, and now we are on to 5-7, the final auto scroller before we have a mini boss rush. We have two bosses that we have to do, Gantz and Garland. Gantz is a regular race, while Garland is an actual boss fight. And basically the way that the timing works in this category is that what we do to call time, so time starts when the screen fades to black, right? And the way that time ends is when I get the final hit on Gantz. However, the only way that this stage is clear is that not only do I get the final hit, but I live, I survive. We'll get to that when we'll explain that in right here, basically. In the final fight against Garland, he's in a giant robot, and he goes through 3 phases. Each one takes about 6 hits, if I'm not mistaken, 6 or 7. And basically each time he loses a part of his robotic body and clears the floor out beneath us to go on to the next section, right? However, in the final phase, he breaks out the entire floor, and we're just flying around in there. I can get the final hit, but if I get the final hit and die, I have to restart the entire fight. So the fight doesn't end until I officially live the final hit. So I would say time when I survive, but time is typically the final hit. So retiming sometimes does have to happen, just because you could get the final hit but die and still hit the stop timer, right? So I'd probably call time like right as I survive, right? So on to the final boss fight. And this is probably where I'd give out some thank yous and stuff, because I would like some serious time during Garland, because Garland is my hardest fight, right? But again, I give some thank yous to the community, to family, friends, and stuff like that in this fight. But anyways, let's go ahead and start this fight. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be breaking this block to shoot the arrow to break that block up there. We're going to double jump to be able to do that, because what you're supposed to do regularly is break the other block over there and use it. So I do this trick wrong, but there's kind of like a little trick that we can do where basically if we barely throw this at the right pixel, the door sometimes is opened up, and if it doesn't open up, that's okay. we still break it, and we have to do come back here and anyways and see what can be done. So sometimes we're also supposed to improvise and basically adjust if we see that it doesn't. Runners are supposed to adjust and see if it doesn't push the lever down to grab it and instantly throw it to the regular one, so we save some time. But either way, it's okay. So right here, doing some more platforming, make sure we don't get hit by the spikes. I don't know why I throw it back. It might have been an accident. We're gonna jump on that spring, and here's a really cool strat. We're gonna double jump on this rope, throw it down, instantly break it, break the box next to us, double jump again, push that lever down instead of having to wait the 8 seconds or the 10 seconds it'll take to break the block normally, and having to do that again. So we do it pretty fast. We break that block because we need it to be able to jump up here and grab it. Now on to the first mini boss. So kind of the same thing as that boss fight from the last world is we have to hit it when the part of its stomach is exposed. We have to time it perfectly. If we don't time it, we hit it and it throws a spider web and cancels off those spikes. So typically if I play optimally and stuff, I should be able to get that sooner, but I unfortunately don't, but it's okay. I just, like I said, as long as I hit it once, we're good. And now I grab this, move over to the middle, and wait for him to time it perfectly when he's gonna come over there, and he just takes 3 hits, 3 different phases. Jump up, grab this, and now we're on to the final section. So real quick, the one thing that I would want to explain while we're loading in is we're going to want to save as many moves as we can to get some extra hits in and make this boss fight go faster. He throws out missiles that will send the moves. Like I said, we're going to manipulate it so we can have some moves left over, so we can do some extra damage to him. We're going to avoid some gears, and yeah, like I said, I want some serious time throughout this, but we're going to jump around, avoid getting hit. Not only are we going to avoid getting hit, but we're also going to deal some damage to him. I missed that shot, unfortunately, but it's okay. So we're just going to make it across the entire stage and wait for him to shoot the missiles again. It can happen sometimes where I accidentally miss some damage, and it's okay if I do. It's not a big issue. And what we are going to want to do is we're going to want to take a move with us to the next section of the floor. That's why I waited for that one missile to activate. So we wait for the move to explode, go down. Or at least for this, or at least for the second phase, we want to take one down with us. We're going to fall down. We're going to be positioned around where he falls, and whenever he falls, we're going to make sure that we're going to want to hit. When he falls on top of us, we want to make sure that he hits the move with his head. We don't get hit, but he does get hit at the end. So now we jump up, and we're just going to go ahead and deal some more damage to the moves with him. Do some more avoiding of damage. We wait. And now, right there, it doesn't matter if he sends one final move out with him because he breaks the floor underneath us at the very last stage. So, yeah. So as you can see right here, he's flying now, and the floor underneath us is gone. If we fall through the floor, it is dead, and we have to start from the very beginning. So, and the only way to do damage is by hitting those, charging into him with those electric bolts. So, after we hit him once, he does this attack instantly. We're just going to wait it out. We can do the fast trap, but it's really risky. As he's doing that, we grab him and use it to explode. We grab those things and hit him to explode, but it's really hard, and time would be now. And that is Clone Noah Dream Champ Tournament any percent. I want to thank the GDQ staff and everybody who watched the submission. Hopefully this gets accepted, and yeah, and now I'm going to have to record the next part of this, which is the incentive run that I talked about. But yeah, again, thank you for watching, and thank you for hearing me out and watching the submission. I appreciate it, and yeah, thank you so much.